Hope you have a nice day. Now we are going to deal with the fourth unit of unconventional machining processes. I am Professor Jayashree. I am currently working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Government College of Engineering, Bodi Nayakanur. So you know what unconventional machining processes are. They are processes that are different from the traditional machining processes like milling, turning, facing. They are machining processes which do not involve the direct contact of the tool and the workpiece, and they are non-conventional. So in this fourth unit, we are going to deal with advanced nano finishing processes. I hope you all would have learned in the first 3 units about electrochemical machining or chemical machining, abrasive machining, all these. And finally, after all the machining processes are done, we will always proceed towards the finishing processes. And these processes are called nano finishing processes as they involve the use of nanotechnology, and also the surface finish is of the order of 10 power minus 9 meter or more. We are going to deal about abrasive flow machining, chemomechanical polishing, magnetic abrasive machining, magnetorheological finishing, magnetorheological abrasive flow finishing in this unit. So you all know what finishing processes are. Final finishing operations in manufacturing are always of most importance, and they are critical for precise parts. And finishing processes, as you know, are labor intensive and they are least controllable. Conventional machining, precision machining, and ultra precision machining are the processes by which highest possible dimensional accuracy has been obtained in the earlier days. But the machining accuracies obtained in conventional machining processes could reach only 1 micrometer, while the precision and ultra precision would reach 0.01 micrometer and 0.001 micrometer, which is of the order of 1 nanometer. But over days, the need for higher precision in manufacturing was felt by the manufacturers worldwide to improve the interchangeability of components, improve quality control, and longer wear and fatigue life. So this pushed the mechanical engineers and the manufacturers to look for technologies that had more capacity to produce surface finishes of the order of nanometers. Accuracy targets for today's ultra-precision machining can't be achieved by simple extension of conventional machining. In the figure, you can see that the machining targets achievable by normal machining, precision machining, and ultra-precision machining could not reach the order of nanometers. In the era of nanotechnology, deterministic high-precision finishing methods are of utmost importance, and they are the need of the present manufacturing scenario. Overcoming the limitations of traditional finishing processes in terms of high tool hardness and precise control of finishing forces during operations was possible using this nano finishing method. It also helped in finishing the harder materials, and it exercised better process control. It could finish complicated geometries by enhancing reach of abrasive particles to difficult to access regions of the workpiece surface. The electronics and computer industries are always in demand of higher and higher precision for large devices and high data packing densities. Let us have a glimpse of the traditional finishing methods: grinding, lapping, and honing. In grinding, the material is removed from the workpiece surface by the relative motion of the cylindrical wheel having abrasive particles embedded on its periphery, the grinding wheel. The application of grinding is mainly available for simple geometries like cylindrical or plane surface, where size is limited by the grinding wheel movement. Lapping uses loose abrasives to finish the surface. The amount of material removed is insignificant in this process. Honing is another abrasive finishing process to finish the internal cylindrical surfaces. These are the traditional finishing methods which we have been using to finish any workpiece or part. Now, in this chapter, we are going to see the advanced finishing processes like magnetic abrasive finishing, magnetic float polishing, magnetorheological finishing, magnetorheological abrasive flow finishing, and chemomechanical polishing. Here is a comparison chart having the RA values. RA is a measure of surface roughness. The RA values achievable through the finishing operations are listed in the table, where you can see that grinding, honing, lapping processes can achieve an RA value of 25 to 6250 nanometer, whereas the advanced finishing processes like abrasive flow finishing, magnetic abrasive finishing, magnetic float polishing, magnetorheological finishing can produce surface finishes of the order of 0.8 nanometer even. So the first being abrasive flow finishing or abrasive flow machining, also known as AFM, was identified in the 1960s as a method to deburr, polish, and radius difficult to reach surfaces and edges by flowing an abrasive-laden viscoplastic polymer over them. It uses two vertically opposite cylinders which extrude an abrasive medium back and forth through the passage formed between the workpiece and the tooling. Abrasion occurs wherever the medium passes through the restrictive passages. Abrasive action accelerates by change in the rheological properties of the medium when it enters and passes through the restrictive passages. This allows it to selectively and controllably abrade the surfaces that it flows across. So, the abrasives are carried by a viscoplastic polymeric medium across the workpiece and the tooling surfaces, and these abrasives, which in action with the workpiece, can remove the material. The workpiece held by fixture is placed between the two medium cylinders which are clamped together to seal so that the medium does not leak during the finishing process. Here you can see that there is an upper hydraulic cylinder and a lower hydraulic cylinder. There is a medium cylinder fixture. The upper hydraulic and lower hydraulic cylinder causes the abrasives to move back and forth across the workpiece. So you can see that the abrasives which are suspended in the polymeric medium are removing the chips from the workpiece when they move across the workpiece. So the key components that control the process include the tooling, the machine, and the abrasive-laden polymeric medium. Tooling confines and directs the abrasive medium to flow through the areas where the finishing operation has to be done, be it deburring, radiusing, or surface improvements. The machine, which controls the process variables like the extrusion pressure, medium flow volume, and the flow rate. The abrasive-laden polymeric medium, whose rheological properties determine the pattern and aggressiveness of the abrasive action. Rheological properties are nothing but the flow properties of the medium. The abrasives are suspended in the viscoplastic polymeric medium, and the rheological properties of the medium control the aggressiveness of the abrasive action. The abrasive action, in turn, is a direct measure of the material removal. To formulate the AFM medium, the abrasive particles are blended into a special viscoelastic polymer, which shows changes in viscosity when it is forced to flow through the restrictive passages. So obviously, the process parameters include the extrusion pressure, number of cycles, grit composition and type, the fixture design, and the viscosity of the polymeric medium. AFM can process either a single workpiece or multiple parts simultaneously in accessible areas, and complex internal passages can be finished economically and productively. Also, it reduces the surface roughness on casting, machined, and EDM'd parts by 75 to 90%. The same AFM setup can be used to do a variety of jobs by changing the tooling, process settings, and if necessary, even the abrasive medium composition. AFM can be applied to do an impressive range of finishing operations that require uniform, repeatable, and predictable results. So the process capability of AFM is that it is precise, consistent, and flexible. The applications of AFM were earlier limited to aerospace industries for just deburring and finishing the critical hydraulic and fuel system components. Now, with its unique advantages, the purview of its application has been expanded to include adjusting airflow resistance of blades, vanes, combustion liners, nozzles, and diffusers. And also, finished parts improve the airfoil surface conditions on compressors, turbine section components, after profile milling, casting, EDM, or ECM operations, edge finishing of holes, and attachments to improve the mechanical fatigue strength of blades, discs, hubs, and shafts with controlled, polished, and truly radiused edges. It is also used in finishing the auxiliary parts such as fuel spray nozzles. AFM process has revolutionized the finishing of precision dies by polishing the die surfaces in the direction of material flow. It produces a better quality and long-lasting dies. The uniformity of stack removal, that is, the uniformity of material removal, permits accurate sizing of undersized die passages. Precision dies are typically polished in 5 to 15 minutes, and that too with unmanned operation. AFM has been applied to the improvement of air and fluid flow for automotive engine components, which was proved to be an effective member for lowering emissions as well as increasing the performance. Flow-tuned spray orifices of fuel injectors can reduce particulate emissions. Now we are proceeding towards magnetic abrasive finishing. Magnetic abrasives are emerging as an important finishing method for metals and ceramics. It is one such unconventional finishing process to produce good quality finish on the internal and external surfaces of tubes as well as flat surfaces made of both magnetic and non-magnetic materials. In this process, usually ferromagnetic particles are sintered with fine abrasive particles such as alumina, silicon carbide, CBN, or diamond, and such particles are called ferromagnetic abrasive particles or magnetic abrasives. However, homogeneously mixed loose ferromagnetic and abrasive particles are also used in certain applications. You can see the experimental setup that the magnetic abrasives, with the influence of a rotating magnetic pole, can remove the material from the workpiece. You can see the magnetic field, the equipotential line. The magnetic abrasive flexible brush, under the action of the applied magnetic field, is able to remove the material with good surface finish. A plain MAF process in which finishing action is generated by the application of magnetic field across the gap between workpiece surface and the rotating electromagnet pole. Force due to magnetic field is responsible for the normal force causing the abrasive penetration inside the workpiece, while rotation of the magnetic brush results in material removal in the form of chips. The magnetic abrasive grains are combined to each other magnetically between magnetic poles along the line of magnetic force, forming a flexible magnetic abrasive brush, and this brush is used for surface and edge finishing. The magnetic field retains the powder in the gap. It acts as the binder, which causes the powder to be pressed against the surface to be finished. This is the MAF setup. You can see the MAF setup for finishing the internal surfaces. The magnetic abrasives are stored in an abrasive tank, and compressed air is supplied through a nozzle, and the abrasive slurry is sent towards the workpiece under the influence of the magnetic pole. The process parameters that control this magnetic abrasive finishing include workpiece circumferential speed, magnetic flux density, working clearance, that is a clearance between the workpiece and the magnetic abrasive, workpiece material and size, type and volume fraction of abrasives, the exciting current of the magnetic coil, because it controls the magnetic field, which in turn controls the operation and movement of the magnetic abrasives. Process capability. 3D minute and intricately curved shapes can be finished. Mirror finishing is realized without lowering the accuracy of the shape. Since the magnitude of machining force caused by the magnetic field is very low, a mirror-like surface finish is possible. RA of 7.6 nanometer was observed. Applications of magnetic abrasive finishing include surface finishing, deburring, and precision rounding of workpiece. All these three can be done simultaneously. It is used to perform operations as polishing and removal of thin oxide films from high-speed rotating shafts. MAF can be applied to the internal surface of workpieces such as vacuum tubes and sanitary tubes. This picture shows a magnetic abrasive brush that is there, and which is finishing a cylindrical workpiece under the action of the electromagnet. Magnetorheological finishing, MRF. Magnetorheological finishing is widely used in fiber optics and in lens manufacturing. Lens manufacturing can be classified into two main processes, grinding and finishing. Grinding gets the lens close to the desired size, while finishing removes the cracks and tiny surface imperfections that the grinding process either overlooked or created. Lens manufacturers generally use in-house opticians for the finishing process. It is a labor-intensive process. All finishing operations are generally labor-intensive. Perhaps the biggest advantage to manual grinding and finishing is that it is non-deterministic. To overcome these difficulties, Center for Optics Manufacturing in Rochester, New York has developed a technology to automate the lens finishing process, and it is known as magnetorheological finishing. MR effect, that is magnetorheological effect, is the MRF process relies on a unique smart fluid known as the magnetorheological fluid. MR fluids are suspensions of micron-sized magnetizable particles such as carbonyl ion, dispersed in a non-magnetic carrier medium like silicone oil, mineral oil, or water. In the absence of magnetic field, an ideal MR fluid exhibits Newtonian behavior. On the application of an external magnetic field to a MR suspension, a phenomenon known as magnetorheological effect is observed. So you can see carbonyl ion at no magnetic field, they are distributed randomly. At a magnetic field of strength H, the abrasive particles are entrapped within the carbonyl particles and they are aligning as dipoles. At magnetic field H and applied shear strain, you can see that there is an alignment of the carbonyl atoms in the medium. Figure A shows the random distribution of the particles in the absence of external magnetic field. And figure B, magnetizes, the particles magnetize and form columns when external magnetic field is applied. The particles acquire dipole moments which is proportional to the magnetic field strength, and when the dipolar interaction between these particles exceed the thermal energy, the particles aggregate into chain of dipoles. You can see that they are aggregating in the form of dipoles aligned in a single direction. Because energy is required to deform and rupture the chains, this microstructural transition is responsible for the onset of a large controllable finite yield stress. On an applied shear strain, there is an increase in resistance. When the field is removed, the particles return to their random state and the fluid again exhibits Newtonian behavior. So the process includes a convex, flat or concave workpiece which is positioned above a reference surface. An MR fluid ribbon is deposited on a rotating wheel rim. By applying magnetic field in the gap, the stiffened region forms a transient work zone. Surface smoothing, removal of subsurface damage and figure correction are accomplished by rotating the lens on a spindle of a constant speed, while sweeping the lens about its radius of curvature through the stiffened finishing zone. Material removal takes place through the shear stress created as the magnetorheological polishing ribbon is dragged into the converging gap between the part and the carrier surface. The zone of contact is restricted to a spot which conforms perfectly to the local topography of the part. Deterministic finishing of flats, spheres and aspheres can be accomplished by mounting the part on rotating spindle and sweeping it through the spot under computer control, such that the dwell time determines the amount of material removal. You can see that the MRP fluid is moving across the lens surfaces. There is a moving wall and the pole piece creates the magnetic field required and magnetorheological effect is observed, and this magnetorheological effect removes the material from the lens, or it does the finishing operation. Again, you can see that the MR fluid conditioner is pumped through the rotating wheel. Electromagnet is there to produce the magnetorheological effect, and the fluid ribbon, the magnetorheological fluid ribbon, it passes through the wheel that is rotating under the action of magnetic field, and it removes the material, and then the fluid is picked up, again pumped into the MR fluid conditioner. The process capability, as you know, it depends on the magnetic field strength. The strength of the fluid increases as the applied magnetic field increases. The ability of electrically manipulating the rheological properties of MR fluid attracts attention from wide range of industries, and numerous applications are explored. These applications are use of MR fluid in shock absorbers, damping devices, clutches, brakes, actuators, and artificial joints. The magnetic field applied to the fluid creates a temporary finishing surface which can be controlled in real time by varying the field strength and direction. So magnetic field strength and direction is a major factor that controls the process. The rheological properties of the MR fluid also is an important factor that controls the process. The MR polishing fluid has the following merits over the traditional lapping process. The compliance is adjustable through the magnetic field. It carries heat and debris away from the polishing zone. It does not load up as in the grinding wheel. It is flexible and adapts the shape of the part of the workpiece which is in its contact. The computer-controlled MRF process has demonstrated the ability to produce a surface accuracy of the order of 10 to 100 nanometers. The application includes finishing glass ceramics, plastics, and some non-magnetic metals. The process is widely used in high-precision finishing of optics. MRF makes finishing of free-form shapes possible for the first time, as the MR fluid is very flexible and it can take up the shape of the part. Applications that use high precision lenses include medical equipment such as endoscopes, collision avoidance devices for transportation industry, scientific testing devices, and military night vision equipment like infrared binoculars. All these require very high precision, and this high precision is achievable through this MR process. Missiles are equipped with a wide variety of high precision lenses for navigation, target location, and other functions. This high precision necessitates the use of MRF for the finishing. Magnetorheological abrasive flow machining is a process that combines the positive properties of MRF process and abrasive flow finishing process. In AFM, the polishing medium acts as compliant lap and overcomes the shape limitation inherent in almost all traditional finishing processes. As abrading forces in AFM process mainly depend on the rheological behavior of the polymeric medium. You know that we used a viscoelastic polymeric medium in AFM, which is least controllable by external means. You cannot control the flow properties of the rheological properties are nothing but the flow properties of the elastic medium or the polymeric medium. Magnetorheological finishing uses magnetically stiffened ribbon to deterministically finish optical flats, spheres, and aspheres. In order to maintain the versatility of abrasive flow machining, abrasive flow machining can machine any kind of parts, made of any material. In order to maintain the versatility of the abrasive flow machining process and at the same time to introduce determinism and controllability of rheological properties of the abrasive medium, a new hybrid process termed as magnetorheological abrasive flow machining is used. You can see that MRF process uses a smart magnetorheological polishing slurry. And AFM, abrasive flow machining, uses an abrasive laden medium, polymeric medium, and magnetorheological abrasive flow machining combines the properties of both and it finishes through the flow of magnetorheological polishing fluid. Magnetorheological polishing fluid comprises of MR fluid with fine abrasive particles dispersed in it. On the application of magnetic field, the carbonyl ion particles form a chain-like columnar structure with abrasives embedded in between. The magnetic force between ion particles encompassing abrasive grain provides the bonding strength to it. The magnitude of magnetic force is a function of ion concentration, applied magnetic field density, and magnetic permeability of particles and the particle size. A magnetically stiffened slug of magnetorheological polishing fluid is extruded back and forth like in AFM or across the passage formed by the workpiece and the fixture. Abrasion occurs selectively only when there is magnetic field. When there is no magnetic field, no abrasion is there and therefore no material removal takes place. Here you can control the flow of the medium. You can see that the abrasives are embedded within the CIP chains on the application of magnetic field. So MRAAF mechanism, the mechanism of material removal is explained. The workpieces are shown and they are controlled in between two magnetic poles. The abrasive particles are dispersed in the MR fluid and the MR fluid on the action of magnetic field form CIP chains with abrasive particles embedded in between. These abrasive particles, when they flow through the workpiece, can cause material removal. The abrasive edges, that is the cutting edges held by the carbonyl ion chains, rub the workpiece surface and shears the peaks from it since this is finishing operation. You can see the schematic diagram. It is very similar to the AFM process, that is abrasive flow machining process. This also has top hydraulic cylinder, top MRPF cylinder and the bottom hydraulic cylinder with an addition of electromagnetic coils. The workpiece fixture is there, supporting bars, hydraulic unit to pump the MR fluid. Extrusion of MRP fluid through the passage formed in the workpiece fixture is accomplished by driving two opposed pistons in MRPF cylinders using hydraulic actuators operated in desired manner with the help of a designed hydraulic circuit. The amount of material sheared by the abrasive grains depends on the bonding strength provided by the field-induced structure of the MR polishing fluid and the extrusion pressure applied through the piston. Both these control the material removal. In this way, magnetic field strength controls the extent of abrasion of peaks by the abrasives. The viscosity of smart magnetorheological polishing fluid is a function of applied magnetic field strength, and it can be vary depending on the desired finished characteristics. MRAFF process has the capability to finish complex internal geometries up to nanometer level. It imparts better control on the process performance as compared to AFM process due to the process control over abrading medium's rheological behavior through the magnetic field. Chemical mechanical polishing or chemomechanical polishing. Chemomechanical polishing is a very fast growing technology in the semiconductor manufacturing. CMP is a planarization process which involves a combination of both chemical and mechanical actions, and thus the name. It was developed at IBM in the mid-1980s as an enabling technology to planarize SiO2 interlevel dielectric layers (ILD layers) so that 3 or more levels of metal could be integrated into a high density interconnect process. Nowadays, electronic industries require high packing densities, and this necessitates processes like chemomechanical polishing. The technology was adopted from silicon wafer polishing. The initial application of CMP was ILD planarization, but now its application has been extended to overall semiconductor fabrication. Chemomechanical polishing is a process in which the driving factor for material removal is the chemical action between the abrasives and the work material under the polishing condition, followed by mechanical action for the removal of reaction products. So there is both a chemical reaction and a mechanical action involved for the removal of material. Chemomechanical polishing is expected to overcome many problems of surface damage associated with hard abrasives, including pitting. Pitting is localized corrosion due to brittle fracture, dislodgement of grains, scratching due to abrasion, resulting in smooth, damage-free surfaces. So all these problems of surface damage can be overlooked or overcome by using chemomechanical polishing. So, the wafers were pressed down by carriers and rotated against a polishing pad covered with a layer of silicon slurry. The polishing pad on rotating plate is used to hold the slurry particles, transmit load to the particle wafer interface, and conform precisely to the wafer being polished. Aqueous colloidal silica suspension is widely used for polishing. Initial chemical reaction of silicon with aqueous solution formed a thin silica layer. It is then mechanically removed. So there is both chemical reaction and mechanical action. The thin layer of silica reduces the friction force and it provides uniform distribution of slurry particles, and it removes the eroded material and also the heat generated. During CMP, the kinetic energy of the slurry particles moving between the wafer and the pad erode the surface of the wafer. You can see that the wafer is placed, there is a polishing pad, there is a pad conditioner, wafer chuck is there, the silica slurry is passed, and the silica slurry first reacts with the wafer to form an oxide film, and this oxide film is then removed through mechanical action, and thus finishing is done. CMP has been used for a long time in manufacturing of silicon wafers. CMP results in defect-free surfaces in contrast to mechanically polished surfaces, since this includes both chemical and mechanical action. From the most advanced 200 mm and 300 mm manufacturing processes, simultaneous double polishing is used. Double-side polishing gives a better parallelism compared to single-side polishing. Another use of CMP is the thin film transistor technology, used for instance for making flat displays. Polycrystalline silicon is deposited on glass substrates. CMP for ILD planarization is also used in the aluminum wiring tungsten plug interconnection technology in semiconductor industry. So quick revision, abrasive flow machining uses abrasive particles to remove the chips and the deburred surfaces from the workpiece. So there are hydraulic cylinders which push the abrasives, which is suspended in a viscoelastic polymeric medium to remove the material. Magnetic abrasive finishing uses magnetic abrasives. They are ferromagnetic abrasives like alumina, silicon carbide, CBN or diamond. Under the action of magnetic field, these magnetic abrasives remove the material. They can also be used to finish internal surfaces, and the process is dependent on magnetic strength. Magnetorheological finishing uses MR fluids. These fluids, under the action of no electrical field, they are arranged randomly. On applying a magnetic field, they form dipoles and align themselves in a particular direction, and these MR fluids can act as medium for the removal of material. This process is widely used in precision grinding or precision finishing of optical lenses. And magnetorheological abrasive flow finishing process combines the positive properties of both MR and AFM. AFM process has a limitation that the flow rheological properties, of the abrasive medium, that is a viscoelastic polymeric medium, cannot be controlled. Whereas in MR process, the carbonyl ions form dipoles and the abrasives are embedded within these aligned carbonyl ions, and these abrasives can precisely finish the machine part. And the last one is chemomechanical polishing, wherein the particles are removed by both chemical and mechanical action. The silica first reacts chemically with the wafer and it forms an oxide film, and this oxide film is removed through mechanical action. So this process is widely used in the semiconductor manufacturing industry. So I hope you all are clear about the nano finishing processes. That's all. Thank you.